People who attended their high school reunion, what was the biggest surprise? I didn't want to go to my 20-year high school reunion. My wife basically pushed me out the door. You need this, she said. You've been weird all month. She was right. Turning 38 hit different. I've been thinking about high school a lot, about the kid I used to be. I was invisible back then. Not bullied, not popular, just there. I ate lunch in the library, failed gym class twice, never went to a single dance. The reunion was at some hotel downtown. I walked in and immediately wanted to leave. Everyone looked so successful. Designer clothes, expensive watches, talking about their jobs and their houses and their perfect families. I was wearing a Kohl's button-up and driving a 12-year-old Honda. I grabbed a beer and found a corner. Figured I'd stay 30 minutes and leave. That's when I saw him. Kevin Murphy, standing by the bar, alone. Kevin had been everything in high school. Star quarterback, dated the prettiest girls. Everyone wanted to be his friend. His dad owned 3 car dealerships. He drove a new Mustang junior year. I remembered seeing him in the hallways and thinking, that's what a successful person looks like. But something was off. He looked tired. His shirt was wrinkled. He kept checking his phone with this worried expression. Our old chemistry teacher, Mrs. Patterson, was on stage giving a speech, talking about how proud she was of everyone, how we'd all become such amazing adults. She started calling out people's accomplishments. Amy Lee was a surgeon. Brandon Foster owned a tech company. Tyler Webb was on TV. Then she said Kevin's name, said he was doing great things, working in finance in Chicago. I watched Kevin's face. He didn't smile. He just stared at his beer. After the speech, people swarmed him, shaking his hand, taking selfies. He smiled for the photos, but his eyes looked empty. I was heading to the bathroom when I saw him slip outside to the smoking area. I don't know why I followed him. He was leaning against the wall, not smoking, just standing there. Hey Kevin, I said, remember me? We had English together. He looked at me, squinted, then nodded slowly. Yeah, you always sat in the back. You were quiet. I laughed. That's one way to put it. I was basically invisible. He was quiet for a second. Then he said something I wasn't expecting. I would have killed to be invisible. What? He looked at his phone again, then put it away. You know what everyone in there thinks my life is like? I shrugged. Successful? He laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. I'm 38 years old and I'm living in my parents' basement. I lost my job 8 months ago. My wife left me. Took the kids. I haven't seen them in 6 weeks because I can't afford the lawyer fees to fight her custody changes. I didn't know what to say. He kept going. My dad's dealerships went under in 2016. He lost everything. Had a heart attack last year. Can't work anymore. My mom has dementia. I'm taking care of both of them while working at Target. Overnight stock. I lied to everyone in there because I couldn't handle the truth. Why'd you come? I asked. He shrugged. Same reason you probably did. Wanted to feel like that kid again. The one who had it all figured out. Even if it was fake. Even for one night. We stood there in silence. Then I told him the truth about my life. How I managed a copy shop. How my wife and I were barely making rent. How we'd been trying to have a kid for 3 years with no luck. How I felt like a failure most days. You have a wife who loves you enough to push you out the door, he said. That's not nothing. He was right. We talked for an hour. Really talked. About our dads. About feeling stuck. About being scared of turning 40 without figuring it out. When we went back inside, I saw everyone differently. All those successful people with their perfect lives. I wondered how many of them were like Kevin. Pretending. Hiding. Barely holding on. I gave Kevin my number before I left. Told him to call me if he ever needed to talk. Or needed help with anything. He texted me 2 days later. Asked if I knew anyone hiring. Said he couldn't do overnight stock anymore. His back was killing him. I talked to my boss. We needed someone for the day shift. It wasn't much. Just running the front counter. But it was something. Kevin started the next week. He's still there. We eat lunch together most days. Just 2 invisible guys who finally found each other. My wife asks sometimes why I'm different since the reunion. Lighter, she says. I tell her I remembered something important. That the people who look like they have it all figured out usually don't. And that sometimes the best thing you can be is invisible. Because it means you don't have to pretend. Kevin texts me every Sunday now. Just checking in. Making sure I'm okay. Last week he sent me a photo. Him and his kids at the park. First visit in 3 months. The caption said, thanks for being real. I sent back, thanks for the same. We're both still figuring it out. But at least we're not doing it alone anymore.